So are you in a position where your core is supporting you? Are you finding actually that while you may have great upper body strength, you may think you've got great lower body strength, actually you're not necessarily giving yourself as much as you possibly can have? Let's find out. Good morning and welcome to this morning's exercise virtual class, and I'm Matthew Sharp as always. Now the thing we're going to be looking at today is our core. Now our core is where everything kind of hangs off of, you know, we've got all our arms, our legs, etc. All of our kind of locomotion goes on it. So, but if you don't look after and have a really nice strong core, then what you'll find is you're not necessarily going to be getting the most out of all those other muscles and muscle groups that are kind of hanging off the center of it. So building that really amazing strong core muscles is fantastic. Now the thing I find though is some people think that the core muscles is just purely the abs, purely this kind of stomach area in the middle of the body, and that's just not true. Our core muscles are so much more than that. We've got core muscles that kind of bring them all the way up to our chest, all the way down into our legs, and without kind of looking and understanding how these all work together, what we might be finding is you might be concentrating on maybe doing hundreds and hundreds of ab curls, but not necessarily improving your core strength or core capabilities. So today it is going to be Core Wednesday. We're going to do everything core, really enjoy it, and just like we've been doing for the theme of this week, we're going to be looking at actually really concentrating on that feeling in our core. It's probably one of those areas that not many people actually concentrate on how that feels. So we're going to be looking at doing that. As always, if you want to join us in the group or on the Zoom room, you'll find the link here at SharpFit Virtual Workout Classes on the Facebook group. Bob there, you'll find all the details and you can be part of the conversation and enjoy actually getting your questions answered as well. So without further ado, let's see who we've got in the Zoom room. Okay, hang on. I think I already hear Caroline and Frank. Good morning.
Morning.
And Jason as well. It's weird having to say good morning twice still. I've still not quite got used to it. We'll get used to it, I'm pretty sure. Morning, Mark. Oops, a daisy. Now, I'm all over today with this thing. I will make it work. There we are. Perfect. Right, so let's get ourselves warmed up and then we'll go into our Core Wednesday. So just jog on the spot, just get our heart rate up slightly. Again, nothing major. We're just going to do this as a warm-up. Okay, it's nice. Get our heart rate going. That's it. And then into some star jumps, some jumping jacks. Just something that gets our big joints moving. Start slowing. It doesn't need to be huge amounts at this point. And back into just jogging on spot. Okay, we'll kick those out. And we'll start what we're going to do today. So today we're going to look at 4 different exercises, really concentrating on that feeling across our core. So we're going to be concentrating on how it feels in our muscles down from our serratus, down the sides of our chest, into our transverse abdominis, into the obliques. So the transverse abdominis is that band that kind of goes the center of our stomach and kind of helps with our twisting, and the obliques that kind of go down, the internal obliques and the external obliques in towards our hips. We've also got, as we start to move down, our glutes, our quads, and our hamstrings, which are all part of our core muscles. So we're not going to work too much on those, but we'll start to feel how it actually feels specifically in our glutes when we do some of these exercises. The other set of muscles we're going to work is our actual abdominal muscles. So there's kind of the muscles that kind of go up the front of our body and allow us to kind of pull our body and keeps our body in check there. And also we're going to look at our rectus spinae, which is the set of muscles down our backs here, which can do the same for our backs in keeping our backs nice and erect. So we're not going to use any weights today. Everything we're going to do is going to be body weight only. I'm going to start by laying on the ground, and we're going to do some ab crunches. When we do the ab crunches though, what I'd like us to do not only is to just feel that squeeze as we squeeze the air out of our lungs, but just put lightly some fingers at the top of our abdominal muscles, and then the other hand down the bottom part of our abdominal muscles. And as we're kind of moving our body, just feel the difference in the squeeze. At what point does which part of our abdominal muscles start to get engaged, our upper abs or our lower abs? Then, as we move into our next exercise, which is going to be lying leg raises, I want us to do the same thing again. So fingers lightly pressing on the top of our abdominal muscles, just below our rib cage, and on our lower part of our abdominal muscles, just by our waistband. And as we bring our legs over our head, I want us to feel the squeeze we've got across our muscles, and then bring our legs slowly down and feel as they start to extend and potentially start to shake. From there, we're going to go and do some Ukrainian twists. So we're not going to look at progression or anything today. We're just going to literally keep our legs straight forwards, keep ourselves nice and upright. This is going to be a little bit tricky, because what I want us to do is hold on to one side and do the twist around. I want to start by holding on to the side up by your armpit, and feel, as you start to twist, how that feels with the muscles there. Now, as we twist our body back round, put the other arm under the armpit, and then move round. I'm going to do that, and on the next set, we'll move our hand down towards just by the bottom of our rib cage, and get it feel on both sides as we're twisting the body, how that feels. And then we're going to move our bodies down to the lower parts where we've got our obliques. And again, as we start to twist around, have our fingertips just there. So just feel how that feels. And we'll do that over 3 different sets. And then on our final exercise, this one I don't think we're going to be able to put our hands on. I would like us to try and concentrate and feel. And what we're going to look is we're going to feel what our erector spinae feels like. So we're going to do some back extensions. It's not one we tend to do very often. So we're going to lie prone on the floor, facing down, and just bring our back up. So squeeze our back to raise our chest. And what I want you to do is concentrate on that feeling you've got in your back muscles there. Really feel that squeeze, and then bring them back down again. Okay, does that make sense? Any questions? All good. Cool. Right, in which case, let's start with the ab crunch one. So line on backs, feet with our heels towards our bottom. Just lightly place your fingers just below your rib cage and just about where your waistband is, just on your stomach area. Okay, I want you to feel your abdominal muscles as they're moving. Okay, we'll start these in 3, 2, 1, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. And from there, we're going to go into lying leg raises. Again, keep your hands in the same position. So we're going to be feeling the abdominal muscles and how those change shape. I want you to pay real attention to this on the real difference you feel in the shape of the muscles, specifically when you get your legs above your head versus how you've got it when your legs are almost touching the floor again. And we'll start these in 3, 2, 1, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, I'm now going to sit up, go into our recurring twists, our Russian twists. This one's not going to feel quite as good as usual, in fact that we're going to be touching where the muscles are, so that's going to change the shape of our body slightly. But for what we want to do today, around actually exploring how the muscles work, it'll be okay. So I'm going to start off with one hand just underneath your armpit. Spread your fingers nice and wide so you can kind of feel the muscle change as you're going through. And then, as I say, when we go to one side, you can hold on to that side. And then as we start to twist the other way, put your hands underneath. So the side you're twisting towards is one where you'll have your hand. And we'll start these in 3, 2, 1, and 1. 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, 10. Okay. And from there, flip over onto our fronts. Into that prone position. Got some back extensions. If you find it easier, just pop your hands to the side of your head. And what I like to do is to lift your chest off the ground by just compressing your back, specifically on your rectus fingers, that muscle group just towards the base of your spine. And we'll start these in 3, 2, 1, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, let's have a break, grab yourself a drink. Okay, any thoughts, questions, observations?
No, good. Interesting.
When you were doing the ab crunches versus the lying leg extensions, did you feel the difference between when your upper abs were being used and when your lower abs were being used?
I think so. Yeah.
Cool. So you kind of get that kind of, for example, in the lying leg extension, leg raises, sorry, as you bring your legs up to about there, you suddenly find that the upper part of your abs will take over. But as you kind of bring them back from that point going down, you should feel your lower abs are really kind of taking the load. So maybe it's something just to...
Are you keeping your hand in the same place?
Yeah.
The different
just one just below the rib cage there, so the bottom of your sternum, and one just there, just below the bottom part, just at your waistband. And then the other one with the when you're doing the Russian twist, when you were actually twisting around, did you feel the shape change happen in your chest as you're moving your body around?
Yeah, that one I did more.
Yeah, cool, excellent. Right, so we're going to move on to set number 2 now. I'm going to do the same thing again. So we're going to really concentrate on let's say this, one hand just at the bottom of your rib cage. So literally, if you just find your rib cage now, you should find if you stick your fingers in, it feels really uncomfortable. So don't do that. Just literally lightly on the top of it, just below your rib cage, and the other one just below where your waistband is. And that should hopefully give you that feeling so you can do both sets of your abs. And this time we're going to move our hands down when we do the Russian twist, the Ukrainian twist, down to about here. So just roughly where the bottom part of your rib cage is, where we're going to be feeling your transverse abdomen. So this is the part of your almost like a band that goes around you here. So I want you to, as you're twisting around, to be able to feel that as well. Okay. So let's start those with ab crunches. So back onto our ground. Heels back to our bottom. Let's get our hands in place. So one just below our rib cage, one just about our waistband. Fingers nicely spread, so they're just lightly touching, nicely spread, so you can feel the different parts of your muscles. Because even though you talk about the abs as being like this muscle group, there is actually different muscles in there. So if you feel the difference across your abs as well. And we'll start these in 3, 2, 1, and 1. 2. Feel that shape change. 3, 4. Really squeeze them so you can actually feel it. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, now we're going to move into lion leg raises. So same again, keeping fingers in the same kind of position. Really want you to observe as you're going through lion leg raises that difference between when your upper abdominals are really working hard and then when your lower abdominals are working hard. So you can kind of feel those shape changes. And you should feel it more at that transition point when your legs are over 90 degrees up in the air. And we'll start these in 3, 2, 1, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. We're going to sit up again. Back into our Ukrainian twists, or Russian twists. This time we're going to use our hand just below where our rib cage is, just to feel where those transverse abdominis muscles are. So more towards the front than it is towards the back. Just again, spread your fingers so you've got a nice wide grip down your side. And as we do one side, we use one hand, and as we go to the other side, switch hands. So always the side you're twisting towards is the one where you're holding on to that side. And we'll start these in 3, 2, 1, and 1. 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, 10. And final muscle exercise this set onto our fronts into that spine position, prone position, sorry. And then we're going to put our hands to the side of our heads and squeeze our muscles on our back, specifically those down the back of our spine. Try and close your eyes and try and visualize that muscle as it's squeezing. So try and feel that completely in your mind at the same time as doing it. We'll start these in 3, 2, 1, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, take a break, have a drink. Oh, remember to put the timer on. How many times forget to do that? How was that? Anything you kind of felt of? Observations?
What part back is supposed to work that last one?
So we're working this one, it's the erector spinae. Yeah. So this kind of muscle group that's like connects down towards your hips and kind of comes up your spine. It's almost like a triangular shape down here. Yeah.
I felt very restricted. I couldn't get much movement up.
Yeah, you won't get a lot of movement. So if you can imagine, this muscle itself kind of keeps your body upright and straight, so it doesn't actually bend all that much, but you should get enough just to be able to flex a little bit. So don't think you're going to bring your head all the way completely up, but yeah, just try and just lift your chest off the ground. It is an interesting one. But the back's really interesting anyway, keeping itself under tension and pressure and all that kind of other things. And it's quite amazing because if you didn't actually have your muscles holding your back together, then actually you would just completely fall over. There is no actual structural kind of component to it. It's not like, for example, having a femur or something where there is a great big bone there which kind of keeps your leg in place. Your back is just made up of all sorts of little bones, and therefore without having it being under compression, it doesn't actually have any real strength there without being there. So it's interesting. Cool. Right, we're going to move on to our last and final set. So same again, when we're doing the ab crunches, just want to keep our hands and fingers there. This time, just press that a little bit further in. So they're not just lightly pressing on top, actually press a bit further in. Try and get a little bit lower than the subcutaneous fat tissue that you've got spread over your body, because you've got, everyone has an amount of fat that's over their skin. So I want to try and just press that a little bit, not so it's uncomfortable, but just that little bit so you can actually start to feel that muscle sheath and see how that feels as you're going through it. When we go into the lying leg raises, this time, rather than feeling the abdominal muscles, what I want us to do is to move our hands to our glutes. I want you to feel how your glutes are changing when you're doing the lying leg raises as well. So again, just to show you that your core muscles are definitely going all the way down into your legs. So you'll feel that change and how it actually adapts as your body is moving your legs up and down. When we go back into the Russian twist, Ukrainian twist, I want us to move our hands a little bit further down, more towards, so we're grabbing on the bottom of our rib cage with our thumbs, down to maybe the top of our hips with our little fingers, just so we can feel that side component from our obliques. Again, more towards the front. So, for example, if you look on my shirt, I've got this kind of little design piece here. It's more towards that kind of space I want us to be. So it's just towards the front of our legs, the front of our stomachs, as we'll start to feel it there. And we'll do that on both sides. And obviously, erector spinae, we'll do this just laying down with our eyes closed to feel that. Any questions? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Cool. In which case, let's go for set number 3. So ab crunches. Fingers back to just below the rib cage, just above your waistline. But this time, pushing a little bit further, just so you can start to feel a bit of resistance, but it's not uncomfortable. I'm going to start doing some ab crunches in 3, 2, 1, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. And from there, we're going to lying leg raises. But this time, just put your hands down by your glutes. So you kind of got your little finger down by your glutes, and your thumbs are down the sides of your hips. And as we start to raise our legs, feel this change, how your glutes are engaging throughout this exercise. We'll start these in 3, 2, 1, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, from there, we're going to sit up. Going to move into our Ukrainian twists, our Russian twists. Again, bring our fingers down a little bit lower, so our little finger touches our hips, our thumbs touching our rib cage, more towards, slightly towards the front of your body. We're going to try and feel the obliques as they're kicking in during this movement. Same again, so hold on to the side that you're moving towards, and we'll switch the hands partway through to do the other side at the same time on each movement, each rep. And we'll start this in 3, 2, 1, and 1. 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, 10. Okay, final exercise of this morning session. Back onto our front. Into our prone position. Hands to the side of our heads. And we're going to feel our back squeeze. It's not a big movement. You'll probably find you might only get off the ground by maybe a fist's size under your chest. That's perfectly okay. So try and close your eyes. Just feel your back. Really concentrate every single thought on that back muscle. And we'll start in 3, 2, 1, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. And we'll stand up, give ourselves a drink of water. That's the end of a core session for this week. Okay, so what did you see? What did you feel? What was it like? What's the kind of big learning points that we've had?
I prefer the Russian twist without weight, because otherwise you just are and now it's really controlled.
Yeah, and you can really, once you start to understand which muscles you're working as well, you can really kind of concentrate on them. And then when you add the weight, it should then just be to improve your performance, not to move the weight. So yeah, 100% love it.
I learned that the cat prefers the first exercise.
The cat prefers the first exercise. Love it. Absolutely. So your cat's an ab person. Love it. I always thought cats would be more of an erectus minima kind of person. It's like big stretches that they usually do. But hey, we learn something new every day. Anything from yourself, Jason? Anything that you found was good on that one, or
nothing really? I think from first exercise or two to the third one, the back one, I felt a little bit more flexibility in thinking about it, but I didn't. I felt like I could barely feel where I was working. I mean, I know I was doing some work because I was moving off the ground, but it didn't connect for me yet.
Yeah, it does take some time, and it's we started to just look and explore these. So
never knew that one.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Just listening every day. When you were doing the Russian twists and you were kind of feeling down your muscles, did you kind of feel the difference in the shape, in the fact that as you were up towards the top, your muscle shape changed more dramatically than as you were down towards your obliques? Did you guys notice that? Or?
I mean, very little bit. The whole movement was sort of awkward compared to doing this with the weight. And doing that, my movement was much less, so I felt like I didn't work it as much. But I felt it a little, like in terms of what I was moving. But I kind of disagree with that. I like it with the weight, doing it like full range of motion.
Yeah, but this is the thing. It's about learning where you are, and you probably find for yourself you've got that sort of discipline because you've been doing it so many years that actually you're now utilising the weight to help you give that resistance. Because eventually, after you've done body weight for a while, you will find that you just have got so used to it, it's no longer providing that kind of input, that sensory input that tells you where you are, so to give you that stimulus. Whereas when you add the weight, that's when you get it. But that's when you know you need to progress. So we've talked about, I think, this before, when we talk about taking ego out of adding weights into it. So that actually we add the weight when we need to progress, not because we want to progress. And that's kind of that big difference. So
no, I agree with the whole concept. I think it's good overall. I think this one was especially challenging. That's all.
Yeah, that's cool. And I agree. It's when you're trying to do this and moving on, it's really lumpy, but getting the idea of how your muscles are moving and how they're working, if you can now kind of apply that as you go through each of the exercises, then you know, I'm targeting this muscle. I know it must feel like this kind of feeling is going on inside my stomach, or if I'm doing the twisting motion, I'm going to feel like this is kind of happening at the top while this is kind of compressing further down. So all those type of things will be hopefully going through your mind, which kind of helps you then being able to fire off those muscles because you know where to concentrate your thoughts.
Yeah, I think if I did it again a couple of times, I'd probably feel it more. I think I was, because it's the first time I was kind of in that, am I doing it right? You know?
Yeah.
And then, but once, if I know I am, then you start to focus on that maybe. Yeah.
Cool. Excellent. No, it's all good. Right. So next week, so no slow classes tomorrow or Friday. I'm going to be down in London for a couple of days, but we are back again next week. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. There won't be a class on Thursday, but I'll probably put one back on Friday. So just so you guys are aware, and yeah, we'll have fun and see where we get to.
I'm out Thanksgiving, so
yeah,
see you guys in December.
Yep. As always, though, Jason, if you are watching the recording, just if you have any questions, just drop us a note or anything. Or if there's anything you want us to concentrate on, again, just let us know.
Yeah.
And enjoy Thanksgiving with the family. I hope everyone has an absolutely super one.
Yeah. Try not to eat too much turkey.
Definitely. All right. Have a great day, guys. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Okay, and you guys too have an absolutely super awesome time ahead, no matter what it is that you're doing, whether you're planning on watching the World Cup coming up, whether you're looking at having Thanksgiving, whatever it is that you've got planned for the week ahead. Hope you have an absolutely super one and an amazing weekend as well. It's been great to be able to have you here. I'd love to have any comments, any feedback, etc. with regards to how you found this week, exploring your body, exploring your muscles, etc. if you have found that quite useful. And you can do that either by commenting here or popping into the Facebook group, the SharpFit Virtual Workout Classes, and welcome to take any kind of comments, feedback, questions, observations, or just cries for help sometimes, because you know that's what sometimes you just need somebody there to be able to give you a hand with something you're not too sure on. In the meantime, have an absolutely awesome day, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next week with some more enjoyable workout classes. Bye for now.